You're listening to Let's Stay Together, a podcast about Fruits Basket by Natsuki Takaya. I'm Ellen.
And I'm Kayla.
And today we're discussing chapters 112 and 113.
Yay.
Yay. Should be moderately excited. These weren't sad, super sad. Only a little bit sad.
Yeah, they were more backstory sad than current sad.
Yes. There were like current growth, which is good.
Yeah.
That's good, right?
Yes.
We're going to do our summary discussion, spoilery discussion, like we always do.
Yay.
So, in chapter 112, Yuki meets Kakeru in the hallway. Yuki can tell by his soft smile that Kakeru is messaging his girlfriend. Kakeru tells that her name is Komaki. Tohru passes by, and Kakeru notices her. Komaki, Yuki asks. She's real, right? And Kakeru is like, how rude. And Yuki's like, I want to ask how she puts up with you. They head to the student council room together, and Yuki hands Machi a wrapped gift for causing her trouble the other day. She remembers Ayame and Mine and shudders. Yuki apologizes. I'm sorry, they mean well. They just live in a bizarre reality. It doesn't change the fact that guy's your brother, Union. Kakeru chimes in, and Machi immediately turns and says, it's okay. Then she looks away, shuddering again, and Yuki is like, right. Machi says not to worry about it. Yuki wasn't the one who called her there anyway, and Yuki and Machi both glare at Kakeru, and the truth about who called whom that day is revealed in a ghosty, chibi flashback of Kakeru calling Machi and Yuki being held back by Ayame. Ah, come on, it's all in the past, Kakeru says, but they keep glaring. What? Rain? It's not gonna rain now. I wonder when the rainy season starts, Kakeru says, and Yuki sasses him for a poor attempt at changing the subject. Kakeru asks now for backup, and now doesn't give a single shit. Kimi, ever the star of her own shoujo life, wants to know why Machi got a gift and not her. So basically just another day at the student council.
Yes.
Also, I'd like to know if they didn't tell Machi that Ayame was Yuki's brother. Like, did they just, the whole time, where they just... Because the way that she reacts when they say, when Kakeru's like, oh, it's her brother, and she's like, it's fine, you know, like... Anyway.
Yeah.
At least that's
even more surreal. It's like, why are we at this shop? I don't understand.
Why are we all here at this?
Who are these
clearly
people?
A shop for men's fantasies?
Yeah. It's like, what were you two doing that you wound up here?
And that you called me for.
Yes.
Anyway, Kimi takes the gift with it. Let me have this. And Machi is like, huh? And Yuki's like, I can't let you have it. I gave it to Machi. Kimi then insists on opening the gift for Machi, and Machi looks surprised and shocked. Kimi looks surprised and curious at the tiny Mogeta paperweight that she holds in her hand. Kakeru smacks Yuki in the gut and is like, you gave her a Mogeta? And Yuki's like, you hit me? And now is like, you want it? And then Kimi sasses him that wanting other people's things is the worst. And now it's like, what about you 5 seconds ago? How the hell do you manage to be so overconfident all the time? And Kimi, again in her own shoujo life, claps her hands and looks up wistfully. I think it all started that day. And now it was like, I don't want an explanation, but it's too late. And we're in Kimi's basket now. In a flashback, we see some girls approach baby Kimi and they tease her. You could go about your whole life just getting by on your looks, one says. You all think that too? Baby Kimi says, eyes sparkling with joy, and the girls shudder. She's even more arrogant than we feared, they think. What do you think the theme song would be for Kimi's basket? Another Kimi.
I don't know. I love Kimi's dramatic flashback.
I like how it's like, it all started that day, and then it like transitions.
Yeah. I love how it's framed like as if it were going to be like a traumatic flashback like we've seen with everybody
yes.
in the series. But
no, but then it would be like a whole chapter with her thought narration in bubbles, you know?
Yeah.
But I like how it's like traumatic, like these girls are like clearly trying to bully her, and she's like, you think that? You know, it's really funny.
Yeah.
Anyway, in the present, Kimi says, if she hadn't said those words, I might not have become the Kimi I am today. And then Kimi remembers that she has a date and tells everyone to get down to business. As it gets settled, Kakeru asks Yuki why the Mogeta for Machi, and Yuki says that she seemed interested in the one at Ayame's shop. He remembers her staring at it. Yuki and Kakeru look at her. Kakeru wonders if she likes the one that Yuki brought her, and in a series of adorable ghosty chibi panels, Machi holds it close, then extends her arms and looks at it far away, and then lifts it up and looks at it above her head. Yes, Yuki says, making a fist. That means she likes it. And Kakeru's like, I'll take your word for it. If she's happy, it's a success. Yuki asks if that's his big brother check, and Kakeru is like, no, it's not a bad thing to change, right? Yuki says I never expected Kakeru to say that, and he's like, oh, shucks, and Yuki's like, that wasn't a compliment. Typical student council time. After school, Machi again inspects the tiny Mogeta in her hand. I love this and I'll care for it always, she thinks, and then realizes she forgot to thank Yuki and all the hubbub. Elsewhere, Kakeru waits for his girlfriend. I originally thought that feeling of twisted hatred that I have would never disappear from inside me, he thinks. I even thought that having them was some kind of right. Kakeru's girlfriend meets him and smiles. But that's stupid, he says, and she's like, huh? And he's like, yeah. Wait, huh? He actually pulled a Tohru where he continues his own narration. The next day, Machi goes back to thank Yuki. She hesitates at his classroom door and then turns to leave, but he catches her. She's about to leave and asks if she's had lunch. Meanwhile, Kakeru has forgotten his book and decides to go ask to borrow Yuki's, which he vows to return with pornographic drawings. He's about to open the classroom door as well, but Tohru opens it and excuses herself as she passes him. Then remembers Hanajima saying that Kakeru seemed familiar, and then she finally remembers. In the past, we see Komaki and Kakeru have come to burn incense at Toru's mother's funeral. Grandpa Honda thanks them. You must be going through so much yourself, he says to Komaki. Humph, Kakeru says to Tohru. You make me sick. Don't think that you're the only one burdened with all the misery, and don't get the wrong idea and think that you're the only one who deserves pity. The two leave, and Hanajima notices them, which explains how she recognized him from before. Mm-hmm. In the present, Kakeru notices Tohru looking upset, and she bows. Outside, Yuki and Machi sit together. Machi thanks him and asks if she likes the mogeta that he gave her. I don't want to say, she says, blushing. Yuki's like, He says that he wanted to get the same one that his brother had but couldn't find it, and Machi says it was a limited edition. Thinking of Ayame, she thinks, and his brother put writing on something so rare, how bold. And Yuki thinks, I'm sorry, I don't think he understands its true value. There's like an Ayame in the sky. It's very wonderful. Machi asks what it is that Yuki wants. Self-confidence, I guess? I meant materially, she clarifies. Fertilizer, I guess, he says. Machi thinks, I don't understand, and Yuki doesn't realize that she wants to repay him and spaces out thinking about his plans for a second. The bell rings and they walk back to class. Machi asks if it's hard to study for college entrance exams, and Yuki says no, and she's like, I have a bad feeling he acted like a jerk just now, while Yuki cheerfully laughs. Hey, let's go somewhere fun over summer break, he says to her with a big smile. She blushes intensely, then turns immediately, but then hops the rest of the way down the stairs.
I love the weird jerk Yuki has grown into.
I guess because it's like super hard to study for entrance exams. Yeah. That's the note. And she's like, is it hard? And he's like, nope. And she's like, shouldn't you be worried? And he's like, nope. It's wonderful.
Yeah, but just in general, he's like such a jerk now, and it's hilarious.
Yeah, it's great.
Like, he's not mean, but he's a jerk.
Yes. Especially to Kakeru, which is great. And kind of to Kyo, but mostly to Kakeru.
Yeah.
Upstairs, Yuki notices Kakeru and Tohru, and we cut to later. Kakeru speaks to Komaki after school. He tells her that he ran into Tohru, who remembered him. You didn't pick a fight with her this time, did you? Komaki asks, and Kakeru's like, no, and then offers to prove it by taking off his clothes, and then they chuckle. Because that would obviously prove that they weren't in a fight, I guess. I'd love to see Tohru come to fisticuffs with someone. Yeah. That'd be great. We see Yuki's conversation with Kakeru earlier that day. Kakeru speaks looking out the window away from him. There was a time when Honda-san smiling and not remembering me would have pissed the hell out of me, but Komaki is smiling for me, you know? It wouldn't be fair if Honda-san wasn't allowed to do the same. You know that accident that Honda-san's mom was in? The car that Komaki's dad was in ran into her. Her dad was killed instantly. What a sad connection to have. And the chapter closes on Tohru wiping her eyes.
Dun, dun, dun.
That took a turn. Yeah, I know. Oh my god, shocking. Oh. Okay, chapter 113 opens on a rainy afternoon at school. Kakeru stands to the side. In order to gain something or know something, maybe you have to sacrifice something or hurt something. No matter what you do, it's depressing, he thinks.
Alchemy's first law, equivalent exchange.
Yeah, exactly. Equivalent exchange. Stay tuned for our podcast about Fullmetal Alchemist. I wish I knew the rant from the beginning of Fullmetal Alchemist, but I don't. I would have used that instead of what Kakeru said, but it's fine. Don't worry. Elsewhere at school, Yuki tells Tohru that he won't be home for dinner that night, and he hesitates, but then tells her that he'll be eating with Kakeru. She simply tells him to have a good time and leaves with a smile. Yuki meets with Kakeru at the train station, and they have some front sass. Yuki says that his invitation was short notice, and Kakeru counts the ways in which it was good timing. Komaki doesn't have work. His annoying mom was going to work late, and meat is on sale. And Yuki's like, wait, what was that last one? And Kakeru, for all the train station to hear, shouts, my Komaki-san is an unrivaled lover of meat. She's a meat person. She's a meat angel. Pause for laughter. I mean,
I love the little figures in the background staring at him.
Yes. I want everyone to be aware that every time that it says meat angel in my dialogue, there's a star in my nose. So I've appropriately translated this. I just want you to know. What? Sorry, what were you going to say about the figures in the background?
No, I was just repeating that I like them staring at him.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it very much. They're clearly staring at him screaming.
Yeah.
Yuki's like, stop giving me weird impressions of her before we meet. And he asks if she knows about his connection to Tohru. Kakeru says she does, but not to worry about it. He asks Yuki how Tohru is doing after their run-in, and he says that she's smiling. But that doesn't mean she's insensitive, and Kakeru says that he knows, now, that she wasn't acting miserable or smiling without a care in the world. He didn't understand that until recently, though. We see a memory of him being an asshole to Tohru, again. After visiting the funeral, he spends time with Komaki. She asks if he actually said those things to her, and he confirms. You can't stand her acting like she's the only one who's miserable, can you? He says. You're hurting too. It's like she thinks that her misery is more important than yours. That doesn't make me happy, Komaki says. I know you said it for my sake, but to try to judge who's more miserable and then win something like that doesn't make me happy. And she cries. In the present, Kakeru tells Yuki that he assumed that the girl that he would fall in love with would think and feel the same way as him, and that when this happened, he was completely stunned and didn't understand. Yuki asks if it made him feel alone. Huh, Kakeru says. So that's what they call feeling alone. He thinks, I decided I wanted to see things the way that she did. I wanted to understand, because if I didn't, there would be no point in my being with her. Yuki asks if he understands now, and Kakeru says that he doesn't. He isn't always, but he's getting better. And he has a good teacher. Yuki's like, who? They meet Komaki, who waves and smiles brightly at them, and she introduces herself to Yuki. You're awfully cute, Yuki says, and she's like, what? I hear you're a big fan of meat, he says. Just a little while ago, Kakeru called you a meat angel, and Komaki chases after Kakeru. She drags him back after bonking his head and complains to quit calling her weird names. And you must have it so rough yourself, Soma-kun, Komaki says. I heard about your, situation. And Yuki's like, huh? And Komaki continues determinedly. If there's anything I can do, just let me know. Us girls have to stick together. You honestly do look just like a boy. And Yuki's eyes glaze over, sensing something is afoot. Eventually, Komaki is like, huh? I thought you were in school just as a boy because of family issues. That was a lie, Kakeru says from far away, giving himself a head start as Komaki and Yuki both chase after him. Inside, Komaki apologizes again for the mistake that Kakeru caused her to make. And Kakeru says that he's going to go change. Please don't look, he says. And Yuki's like, what are you, a crane? Just go. There must be some kind of metaphor they don't understand, but it's okay. I'm just repeating what it says here in the text.
He is somewhat crane-like.
I'm only the messenger. Yeah, he's a rare being. And somewhat loud and stocky.
Yeah. Tall and loud. That's what cranes are.
Yeah, tall and loud. Exactly. While Kakeru's out of the room, Komaki and Yuki chat. Kakeru used to be completely different, meaning quiet and reserved and always mad, until the drama with his family was resolved. That's when Komaki and Kakeru started dating. Komaki liked him, but she didn't know that he liked her back. It made me really happy, she says to Yuki. Kakeru-kun is kind. He tries to understand me and protect me. Sometimes we fight, but it's meaningful. Wow, Yuki says. It's a good thing that you have him then. Yes, Komaki smiles. And Kakeru hears from the doorway. Maybe I've made it there, he thinks, at least a little. You damn stupid couple, he says, and Yuki's like, we were talking about you. And Komaki's like, you were listening? Geez, never mind, I'll just start dinner. They ask what's for dinner. It turns out that Komaki will be making yakiniku. Shockingly. She looks kind of embarrassed when they bring it up, which is hilarious. Because she loves meat. Also, I think Komaki, I have a new pairing recommendation for everyone, which is Komaki and Hanajima. Just saying. Based on Sword of Cinderella.
You just spend their whole time grazing.
Yeah. Eating snacks, especially yakiniku. In order to make it here, all of this chapter had Kakeru's, wherever I said thinks, it's usually his like thoughts or like narration, like Takaya likes to do. So in order to make it here, he thinks / narrates. I did trample on some other things, and we see his meeting with Tohru from the other day, finally. She apologizes for not remembering him. It's okay, he says. To be honest, there was a time when that really would have bothered me, but I was being selfish. It probably took everything you had just to stay standing. I'm sorry that I said that to you. Komaki got mad at me too. I was being thoughtless. There are lots of things I just don't get, but things are different now. Little by little, I'm starting to understand. I hurt you, I hurt Komaki, I hurt Yuki, Kakeru thinks. Then I finally felt like I was starting to understand. I finally felt like I'd made it, this far at least, but I still have a ways to go. By the way, he says to Tohru, fidgeting awkwardly, Komaki's doing okay, and you seem to be doing okay too. Every day, really, so I'm glad. Yuki-kun seems to be enjoying himself very much these days, Tohru says. He smiles often. I'm sure that's because he was able to meet you, Manabe-san. She smiles softly at him. For some reason, he thinks, I wanted to cry so badly. I knew that smile. It wasn't smile for herself. He thinks of the time before when he made Komaki upset. She smiles in the memory. It was a smile so that someone else wouldn't be sad. In the present, Yuki heads out from their dinner, and Kakeru offers to walk him home, because it's dangerous for a girl, and Yuki pounds him. Komaki says that she had a good time, and that Yuki is so pretty and strong, Kakeru says, still on the ground from Yuki's attack. Just what you would expect from a good teacher, she says. He is a good guy, Kakeru says with a big smile, and supported by Honda-san. Komaki says that she's happy that she got to meet him. I think we're going to be hanging out for a long time, he says, and Komaki says they make a good deal, and Kakeru is like, no, because of Machi. If he sticks with Machi, we'll be related by marriage. And Komaki's like, oh, I see. Then we see his narration thoughts again. In order to know something, you have to hurt something else. If that's the way it's going to be, then at least I want to be kind. I want to repay them, more than the number of times they've smiled for me. He thinks of Yuki and Tohru. He takes Komaki's hand and pulls her close for a kiss. The chapter closes on Kakeru's mother returning from work and complaining that she didn't get to meet Yuki. Kakeru's mother bicker loudly, and Komaki hopes the landlord doesn't get mad at them for the noise again, and that's the end of chapter 114. Yay!
Hey.
Only a little drama this time,
Yeah.
no big deal. Wow, Kakeru's such an asshole.
Yeah.
I also remembered this part of the story and this connection, but I didn't realize how similar it is to like Ayame and his the way that he treated the girl from high school that we saw. So
Yeah, and we had the that little like mystery flashback of him at the funeral being a dick recently. But
yes,
we also had a flashback
I described him as a man with a tie.
Yeah. We also had a flashback way earlier when like Yuki and Kakeru had that first fight like early in their meeting. Because when he gets mad at Yuki saying the like, does that make you happy thing or whatever he said to him, and he remembers like Komaki saying it when he gets mad. So
we had a flashback, the flashback of like the students. Like remember there was a flashback of Komaki too. I think it was when Hana was like, do you recognize that person? Like to Tohru. So a long time ago as well.
Yeah. Another one of those little things that's been quietly building for a while.
Finally revealed. Yeah. Wonder what spoilers we're gonna have to talk about now. I mean,
everything's coming together.
No more Meat Angel spoilers. Now I can call her Meat Angel.
I love that when Yuki repeats what he says. His dialogue also has a star.
Yes. He called you Meat Angel just now.
Yeah. That's like how deliberately he does that.
Yes. Also, Yuki looks so happy where he's like, oh, it's nice to meet you. He just called you Meat Angel. And then chases after him. Like, Yuki can't possibly have known. I guess he knew that it would... that it wasn't... That she didn't know, or, like, it wasn't serious or whatever. Like, I don't know.
I think he's deliberately getting Kakeru in trouble.
Exactly. That's what I was trying to say. He said it in a much more succinct way. Yes. Komaki seems cute. I don't think we get to see a lot more, like, detail with her. I think this is, like, her shining moment in the series.
Yeah.
I liked that we got... This is basically, so we had a Shigure kind of backstory narrated chapter a couple of episodes ago. This is like a Kakeru backstory narrated episode, which I thought, or chapter, which I thought was pretty cool. I didn't realize that's how it unfolded. I didn't remember that's how it unfolded. Like, I remembered all these, like, things that objectively happened, like, that they visit Komaki and that they have Komaki and Tohru have that connection or whatever, but I didn't remember all the kind of, like, situation around it. So it was nice. It's nice to kind of see his take on himself as a character, you know?
Yeah.
He seems very self-aware. Like, he knows, he feels like he's still lacking in a lot of ways, which is cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the same thing I like about Ayame, where, like, you kind of know where what their bad points are and are trying to get better at it.
It also seems, like, very recent. Like, so, like, the incident with Komaki and Tohru, of course, happened within 2 years or whatever, because we just had the second anniversary of Toru's mom's death. And then, like, the thing with Yuki just happened, like, it would have happened, I don't know, like a year? It couldn't have been a whole year, maybe? I mean, it's relatively recently in the series, so.
Yeah, it's when they were, like actually
thing.
started at the student council, so.
Yeah.
It would have been
so
after
like
summer.
He's just... Summer. So he's just kind of learning now and seeing now, I guess, the way that he can hurt people, you know?
Yeah.
We're seeing
Which
kind of
makes sense if he was, like, you know, raised, like, super strictly for most of his childhood and early teen years, where, like, his only goal was, like, being better than someone else, so.
Yeah, I wonder. It seems like it's implied by the memory that Komaki and Kakeru went to the same school before or whatever. Like it looks like he's wearing like a little suit thing. So maybe they went to the same like middle school or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's not stated, but it seems like they were at the same school. So, and now they're at different schools, right? So
seems like it. Yeah.
But yeah, all of that, they weren't even dating until all the family stuff was resolved, and it seems like that wasn't that long ago based on like what they look like in the flashback. So
yeah,
and probably based on what Kakeru said, but I don't remember if he gave any specifics about when everything kind of resolved with his family when he was talking to Yuki about it before.
Yeah, I don't think he did. He just said something like, one day I realized this was stupid.
And I went crazy.
Yeah.
And threw a fit, and now I'm here. Now I'm the Kakeru that I am today. Now I'm the Kimi that I am today. I like how she refers to herself in the third person there also.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have become the Kimi I am today. The major reveal here is the connection between Kakeru and Tohru and Kakeru's girlfriend and Tohru. So Komaki's father was involved in the accident that killed Toru's mother, and they both died. So unfortunately both of them lost their parents, which is super sad.
Yeah.
And then Kakeru was a dick to Tohru at the funeral, like an asshole. So rude. The way that impacted Kakeru, I think, is kind of what's explored here. So
yeah,
that's what we saw. It's another like take on this theme of like hurting people and getting hurt by them, and that that's how you learn and whatever.
Yeah.
He does describe it in a sort of like equivalent exchange way, where he's like, you have to hurt things to learn, or you have to be hurt to learn. But he also kind of
that's like literally the opening of the Full Alchemist. It says like the very first page of the manga has like in order to gain anything, they must be lost. It's like what it says like a painless lesson has no meaning, because in order to gain anything, something like must be given or something like that. So
I wonder when this chapter came out. It reeks of Full Metal Alchemist, the first part.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a true life lesson that I'm sure spans across multiple. My babysitter used to call like in minor injuries and stuff learning experiences. So I mean, it's definitely I don't know. Almost.
Yeah. I kind of wonder if it's like actually similar phrasing, or if the translator was just like, "Ooh, Full Metal Alchemist reference."
I don't know. But then the translator also called yakiniku fried meat, which is like, you called it yakiniku during Sword of Cinderella. So why call it fried meat now? Did you forget? Like, I don't know. Anyway.
Maybe they just thought it was funnier. It is kind of funny to see her like,
fried
looking
meat?
embarrassing. Fried meat.
Fried meat? Instead of a specific yakiniku,
Yeah.
Oh, I guess they also had to split it over two
word bubbles.
or speech bubbles too. Yeah. Yakiniku splits over two. Fried meat also splits over two, but yakiniku would not split over two in English. You're right. I like how Kakeru also like knows that meat is on sale. Like, how did he know that?
Yeah.
Anyway. Really good at this. It's like Tuesday's always meat sale day.
Yeah. She probably like told him excitedly.
Yeah. Meat was
on
on
sale.
So
a text message. It's like, meat's on sale.
Yeah.
I'm gonna buy so much meat.
We're gonna have so much yakiniku. I mean, yakiniku is delicious, so
yeah.
100% support Komaki and her love of meat. Meat Angel's love of meat. The only other thing that I wanted to talk about was Yuki and Machi being cute, which we haven't yet talked about. I love everybody's favorite panel of Machi, I think, in the world is the one where she's holding the Mogeta like paperweight, like holding it out and then looking at it and inspecting it. It's so cute. I like how when she leaves, she's like, I love this and I'll cherish it. I'll like take care of it forever or something.
She's like holding it to her chest.
Yeah, and she's like, oh wait, I better put it away back so I don't lose it. Yeah, so you don't lose it in like the sea of garbage in your apartment.
Yeah. Also the cute little like hop down the stairs she does after talk.
It's also great where he's like, let's spend time together this summer, and she's like, doesn't say anything and then blushes, but then like kind of hops down the stairs. It's very sweet. We're surrounded by a shoujo flowery texture, which never lies, as we know.
Yeah.
The shoujo
It's kind of funny, which I didn't really think about until reading it this time is like when she goes to turn around and like almost runs into Yuki, and he like catches her like by the forehead.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I was like, oh, that's his non-transforming reflexes.
Yeah, I guess so.
It's like she would just
It's
smack
not
her.
a reaction of love. Yeah, she definitely would have. It would have all been over.
Yeah.
But also, touching foreheads is obviously a sign of affection.
Yeah.
According to Takaya, because that's how everyone shows their love.
Also, Rat Yuki's like cute and tiny like the Mogeta. Maybe she would have.
Just, oh, where's the fan art? She
it.
picks him up and inspects it, holds him out,
Yeah.
and then lifts him up. And
Yeah.
she's like,
And it's like, I love this.
clutches it to her chest, and she's like, I love this and I'll protect it forever.
Yeah. Rat Yuki's like blushing.
Did you see that someone retweeted our episode with the meme of the guy shooting the other guy? They're like, this is Yuki.
Yeah.
Did I not send it to you?
I saw it.
Do I have the
don't
power
know
to just ask for
sent
things
it to
now?
me, but... Yeah.
I don't remember, but it was...
It was good.
So yeah, I want the fan art of Yuki holding baby, or Machi holding Rat Yuki. Like the paperweight.
Yes.
I guess I could draw a ghosty. I might be able to draw a ghosty Machi myself. I might have that in me. I drew 3 onigiri for the album cover art.
I drew 3 whole triangles.
I went to fucking art school. God damn it. Anyway. Enough about me and my shortcomings. Let's talk about the rest of Furuba. Is there any other non-spoiler things that you wanted to chat about? I don't feel like I don't have any intense notes for these except for the Kakeru's theme.
Yeah. Yeah, they're mostly lighthearted chapters since they're student council centric.
Kimi shoujo manga.
Yeah.
I love how we were just talking about that, and then this episode,
Yeah.
she has her own flashback and everything.
Yeah. Kimi's definitely the star of her own series
For sure.
somewhere.
Kimi's Basket, another
Somewhere
Kimi.
off screen. Yeah.
Okay. If there's no other spoilery thing or non-spoilery things, shall we go to spoilers? Talk spoilers.
Sure.
Okay. Sweet. So next time. Yes, I have an announcement. Next time we're gonna talk about chapter 114 only because it's different than the other things that follow. Then we're gonna talk about, wait for it, 115 to 118. So you get 1 next time, but then 4. So we're making up for it. Because
extra homework.
Yeah, because of themes. Yeah, everybody do the reading. Extra homework for us. We gotta read a lot more. Because anyway, it's for theme purposes and like things that happen. I've made a plan for the rest of the series, guys. It's not the last time there'll be big chunks of things happening. So
Yeah. Everything happens very fast once you hit a certain point here.
We're getting pretty close to the end of the series. I don't want to make anyone upset, but we're getting pretty close to the end of the series.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just like hiccuped.
I thought you just got upset because you were close.
I'm
to
so upset. We're gonna have to start all over again. I mean, if you're a longtime fan of the series, haven't you just been rereading the series for the last like 20 years, like over and over again? Like that's what I've been doing. So you pick out your favorite ones, and you're like, oh my god, oh, it's so sad. Oh yay, everyone's kissing and hugging, yay. That's right. Everyone's turning into animals. Yeah. Oh my god, Jason.
Animals.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, next time 114, then 115 to 118. So yeah, it'll be a good time. I'm excited about everything that's happening. All right. Thank you all for listening. Join us next time while we discuss Kimi's Basket. We'll see you then.
Episode 213 of Kimi's Basket.
Chapter 585 of Kimi's Basket. That's actually really more like a shoujo, or shonen, not a shoujo.
Yeah.
All right, anyway. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye. I almost hit stop, but I forgot we have to talk about spoilers. Oh, I didn't even write any. Oops. My bad. This is what happens when you...
Well, I didn't write any either because I don't have it.
Oh, I wonder if there are. Let's think about this for a second. Actually, Very little was spoiled by this. Well, we can talk about all the things that are coming up like we normally do.
Yeah.
Because, like, Komaki doesn't come back. And, like, Kakeru is there the rest of the series, but there's nothing else that's really, like, focused on him that's coming up.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's more Yuki Machi stuff. Machi will bring him fertilizer. That's a spoiler.
Yeah.
I love... Oh, we didn't even talk about that very much, but I love how she's like, what do you want? And he's like, self-confidence. And then she's like,
Yeah.
no, I meant materialistically. And she's like, fertilizer? And she's like, still doesn't understand.
Yeah.
And then he kind of is like in his own world
Yeah.
for a second. It's really funny. It's very
Yeah. He's like staring off in the middle distance,
Yeah.
thinking about plants.
Yeah, I can relate. I mean,
Yeah.
so that's gonna happen. That's pretty soon, I
You
think.
can kind of make that like a sad thing because it's like, oh, he's not used to anyone trying to give him things.
I know. Or having self-confidence. But I like how he readily admits that that's what he wants. It's very cute.
Yeah. Also, like the bit at the beginning when he's talking with Kakeru and like making fun of him, basically.
Yes.
And he's just like, it's great that you're at this point where you can say that.
Yes.
Before like getting upset.
Yes. Yeah, it's all the Soma drama. But where's the part where he... I guess she brings in the fertilizer at the end when the curse breaks. I think it's from that time.
Mm-hmm.
That's the last time?
Yeah, because I think because he finds like the big Mogeta.
We'll get
And, like, yeah, and like I think she brings the fertilizer at the same time.
Yeah. And then they're together, and that's when his curse breaks. I mean...
Yeah.
So many reveals.
And he's like, so I have something to tell you. And then he's like, never mind.
Just kidding.
It's not applicable anymore.
I have something else to tell you.
Yeah.
Let me just change that. Not applicable anymore. The reason we're doing like a one-off is because the next one is like Tohru's conversation about Kyo and Kakura. It's like taking your feelings out on Tohru.
The fight.
The fight. And then the next part starts into Kureno getting stabbed, which is in 118, but it's all like leading up to that. And it's like when Michi's curse breaking, Hiro's curse breaking, and then Kureno gets stabbed. That's all in 115 to 118.
Yeah,
then
it's a lot.
It's a lot. Then we're gonna do, well, according to my plans, then the next part is we'll do all of the stuff until like Tohru falls from the cliff and all the other junk. So another big episode just to kind of, because they all like, I feel like splitting it there is like a good place. Splitting it between Kureno, like all the Soma stuff, and then the stuff with Tohru's confrontation is a good place to split it.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of shit's
it's like everything happens like right after each other at this point. So
yeah. But that's basically like the climax of the story, and then we have a couple of like wrap-up volumes.
Yeah, that's like resolution stuff. Yeah.
Kyo goes to visit his dad. It's gonna be fun. Can't wait. But yeah, no, actually, you're right. I don't really have any spoilers about these things specifically, except for Machi and Yuki stuff. There's no.
Yeah.
Komaki doesn't really come back. Kakeru's around, but I think like they're just being like friendly, not like nothing like a reveal like this one. So.
Yeah, it's like his hidden drama is now dealt with.
Yes.
So.
Hidden drama is no longer hidden, but it's okay. There's plenty of hidden drama left, just not with him.
Yeah,
yeah, you're right. I didn't really think about it that deeply.
All the Somas are doing their thing, and Kakeru's like, I'll be over here.
Yeah. I'm still learning, but you do your thing.
Yeah.
It'd be really cute if Yuki transformed into a rat and then Machi picked him up.
Yeah. I love this.
I'll cherish it forever. Oh, I love Machi. I loved how she was like, they're like, it's your brother, and she turns around immediately and is like, it's fine, and then he's like, is it? And then she's like shuddering again.
Yeah.
She's trying to be nice. It's very cute.
Like he's like, they mean well, they're just bizarre.
Yeah. They're living in their own bizarre reality. I laughed at that line.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's true. Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess this is a short spoiler section. Oops, my bad.
Yeah.
I should announce spoilers before we decide if we have any. But it's okay.
It's okay. It's a banter break.
Yeah, it's also become like a let's talk about what's coming next, which is fine.
Yeah.
In place of spoilers.
It's just this going, ooh, it's exciting.
Next time on Kimi's Basket. I can make that joke one more time, right?
I think we can make it as many times as we want.
I love Kimi. My new opinion, I think I said before when Kimi was introduced that I didn't like her very much the first time I read the series, but my new opinion of Kimi is that I love Kimi and everything about her.
Yeah. Kimi's great.
Yeah. I mean, now is fine, but Kimi's great.
Now it's funny because of how, like, outraged she gets over the antics of everyone else.
Yes.
Especially Kimi.
Yes.
Like, the bit where, like, she, like, scolds him about, like, wanting other people's things, and he's like, you just did that 5 seconds ago!
Exactly. Like, she's like, give this to Kimi, and then
Yeah,
Yuki's like,
she's just like, give me this.
give me the gift. First she's like, why didn't you bring me a gift? And he's like, and then she's like, give me the gift. And he's like, no. And then...
Then she does that, like...
she's like, let me open it for you.
Spoiled child thing. It's like, I'll open it for you.
Yeah, exactly. And then she opens it, and she's like, her expression is really funny because it's so curious, and Machi is like shocked, you know?
Yeah.
They have such different expressions. It's really cute.
Mm-hmm.
And then her backstory. I mean,
Yeah.
so funny. All right, good. Well, good. So nothing else to chat about then? Until next time?
Yep.
Well, next time we can talk about Rin and how sad it is. How sad everything with Rin is.
Yes. Rin's everything.
Yeah, pretty much. I was editing that episode. I think it was the most recent manga one where we were like, sad stuff, you know, no sad stuff. You mean, and then like throwing people out windows or locking them up in rooms. Like the examples that we picked were all Rin stuff, and it was really funny to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good.
Yeah, Rin's just like, sorry about your everything.
Yeah, sorry. Your everything.
Like, sorry about vague gesture, all of that.
Yeah, this situation. All right. All right. Okay, then. Until next time, we'll see you to talk about 114 and then a big chunk of stuff. It'll be a good time.
Bye.
Bye. Hello, it's Ellen. If you want to send us a question, you can find us on Twitter at staytogetherpod, on Tumblr at staytogetherpodcast.tumblr.com, or you can send us an email at staytogetherpodcast@gmail.com. Kayla and I want to keep creating podcasts and keep them ad-free, so if you like what you're listening to, please consider giving to our Ko-fi at ko-fi.com/staytogethernetwork. Thank you always for listening and for all your support. We'll see you next time.